For 300 years, one family ruled Russia as absolute monarchs. Then, in a single night, it was over. This is the true story of Tsar Nicholas II, the last emperor of Russia, and the night he lost everything. That it began in 1894, when the crown passed to a shy, 26-year-old man named Nicholas II. His father had died suddenly, and the Romanov family, absolute rulers of Russia since 1613, placed an entire empire in his hands. He hadn't asked for it. He wasn't sure he was ready. His coronation should have been a triumph. Instead, during the public celebration in Moscow, a stampede in the crowd killed over 1,000 people. Nicholas attended a ball that same evening regardless. Many Russians never forgave him for it. Nicholas believed deeply in autocracy, one man ruling unquestioned, just as his father had. But his wife Alexandra gave him 4 daughters before, at last, a son, Alexei, heir to the throne. Their joy didn't last. Alexei had hemophilia, a disease that could kill him from a single fall. In January 1905, unarmed workers marched peacefully to the Winter Palace to petition their Tsar. His soldiers opened fire. Hundreds died in the snow. History remembers it as Bloody Sunday. Facing revolt, Nicholas reluctantly granted Russia its first parliament, but never fully trusted it, or the people demanding it. Desperate to save their dying son, Alexandra turned to a Siberian mystic named Grigory Rasputin, who seemed able to ease Alexei's suffering. His influence over the royal family grew, and so did public rumor and outrage. To many Russians, it looked like their empire was being run from a sickroom. Then came 1914, and the First World War. Millions of Russian soldiers died in a war the army wasn't ready to fight. In 1915, Nicholas made a fatal choice. He left the capital to personally command the troops, leaving Alexandra, and by extension Rasputin, in charge at home. Food ran short. Prices soared. Trust in the crown collapsed faster than the front lines. By February 1917, Petrograd was starving, striking, and in open revolt. Nicholas's own soldiers refused to fire on the crowds. Some joined them. Trying to reach his capital, his train was stopped and diverted to a small station in Pskov. There, surrounded by generals who told him the empire was already lost, Nicholas picked up a pen. On the night of March 15, 1917, he abdicated. 304 years of Romanov rule ended in a single signature. Nicholas was no longer Tsar, now, simply a prisoner. He and his family were placed under house arrest, exiled deep into Siberia, and finally moved to a house in Ekaterinburg the guards darkly nicknamed the House of Special Purpose. Outside its walls, a civil war was closing in. In the early hours of July 17, 1918, guards woke the family and led them to a basement room, telling them they were only being moved for their safety. Nicholas, Alexandra, their 5 children, and their loyal servants were told to wait. Instead, they were shot. The dynasty that had ruled Russia since 1613 ended. That night, in a small, dark room in the Ural Mountains. For decades, the Soviet Union buried the truth along with the bodies. Their grave wasn't uncovered until 1991, and it took years more before DNA testing could confirm who they were. In 1998, Nicholas and his family were finally laid to rest in St. Petersburg, and in the year 2000, the Russian Orthodox Church declared them saints. Nicholas II didn't lose Russia to an army. He lost it, and everything else, in 2 single nights, 16 months apart.